How you doing, Charlie? It's good to have you on the channel, mate.
You, man. Wolfie, mate.
Yeah, me too. I'm good, mate. I'm good.
So obviously at Cogent, what we do is, being a podcast channel, what we want is clear, precise,
Valid
and being valid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So basically what that means is people like you that have been through the stuff that you've been through in your life, coming onto our channel, trying to educate people, and obviously you've got real life story, bro.
Yeah.
You've been through it all. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So introduce yourself.
My name's Charlie Southgate. Done 14 years of an I.P.P sentence. My tariff was 4.5 years, and I've just done 2 years on another recall.
So,
What would you say brought you to where you are now?
Just, I suppose, life experiences and things like that. You know. What do you actually mean by that? Like?
So, if you start at the beginning of your life, explain to the viewers what
your
brought you through
childhood
your
was
channel.
like, yeah.
You know, what made you get to big prison sentences, how you are now, how you've got to where you are now at this precise moment. Like, obviously, last time you come out of jail, how many times have you been to jail?
So yes, I've been to jail 4 times. So the reason why I started my violent offending was I lost my cousin and 2 close friends in the space of like 2 weeks.
how was it? What was their death? Was it like
They were murdered. They were all murdered, yeah, through knife crime, and it kind of just reinforced me to start carrying knives, just for safety. You know, I didn't want to be the next one killed.
Fucking hell, man.
Yeah, it's mad.
How old was you when that happened?
So 16, 17, 18.
Okay.
About 18, I was 18 when all that happened, yeah.
How was you close to them?
My cousin, yeah, really close. You
Yeah.
know? And when he got stabbed, we kind of thought, not again. You know what I mean? And we wasn't expecting it. And then my cousin rang me and said, he died, you know, total shock.
Wow.
So growing up, your childhood from when, just say you was a little kid, was you from a bad home, would you say? Good home?
No, I come from a really good background, you know. My parents have always been role models, they've always worked. They've always kind of had money, they own their own house, they still do now. You know, yeah, so I come from a really privileged background, to be honest.
Yeah. School life, what was your school life?
Yeah, my school life was fine. I started to get in trouble at school.
Yeah.
So my story with school was, so girls like the bad boys.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, so I blame it on them now. You know, what I mean? It's
It's all
their
their
fault.
fault.
They like the jokers of the class and that, you know, and it didn't lead to anything good, you know. So I was in top sets originally when I started secondary school, but because of my behaviour, they started moving me down into like the bottom sets where all the idiots are. And if you don't want to be taught, the teachers are just happy to crack on and teach the ones that want to learn.
Which is true, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true, yeah.
To be fair, I relate to that because I was where all the naughty boys were. You know?
Yeah,
So
it was the best place to be. You know, it
was.
was funny. Well, it wasn't the best place to be, but it was funny.
Class
Yeah.
clown.
Yeah, class clown. Yeah.
I know all about that as well.
But it gets you the attention you want.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly,
At the time. Especially when you're hitting them ages where you're like starting puberty and that. You know, you start getting interested in girls and that. And
Yeah.
you want to make them laugh, innit? You want to, you know what I mean?
Do you have any siblings or anything?
Yeah, so I've got an older brother, a younger brother, and a younger sister.
Okay, so with your older brother, what was he like? Was he good? Was he?
Yeah, he's really good.
Really good, yeah.
Never been like involved in crime or anything like that, you know. But
So-
I kind of got lit out on the local estate when I was a kid. And I fell in love with the streets.
So
Yeah.
where are you from originally?
Chiswick,
Chiswick.
West London.
What's Chiswick like?
Lovely area.
What's the crime like around there?
It's not like it's not like being in Shepherd's Bush or anywhere like that. Do you know what I mean? It's a nice area, but it has got worse and worse now, especially with all the estates, all the council kids and that. You know.
Yeah.
What would you say? So, obviously, what was your index offence? You know, for what you actually went to prison for?
What I got IPP'd for?
Yeah.
It's GBH with intent.
Fucking
Okay.
hell. So that explain to your viewers.
Yeah.
What that.
So
what
that is one below attempted murder. It's GBH with intent to kill, basically. You know.
And what's an IPP as well?
So IPP, it stands for Imprisonment for the Public's Protection.
Okay, so is that something like a Charles Bronson type of thing where they think if he's released, they'll judge it on if he's released?
So I was classed more dangerous than someone that had killed someone.
Yeah.
You know, because basically someone that's usually killed someone, usually their missus and things like that, it's just a one-off offence, heat of the moment. But where I continue to do violent crimes, they kind of had to do something.
So you said continue to do violent crimes. So what was the first crime you did?
Right. So me and my mate had a fight in Kensington on the high street, and that was like my first violent offence. Which then, when I'd started doing the stabbings and things like that, that was my previous. So with I.P.P, you have to have had done offence before, a violent offence.
Okay.
And that's basically.
See, the thing is, I know you for a long time, Charlie, bro. I've known you since 2005 when we first met in prison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In Scrubs.
Explain that. What happened? How you met him?
Well, obviously, naughty boys always link up with naughty boys. It's just the way it goes, isn't it? Yeah. And
Charlie was a naughty
each other.
boy, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I was a naughty lad myself. At the time, I was in there for robbing banks. Charlie was in there for stabbing.
Yeah.
And we just met, but obviously we were instantly gelled.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We're friends.
Yeah,
we've stayed friends for all these years. 20 years later, we're still pals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And thankfully, whilst in our journeys of prison, Charlie was done a long time. I was doing a long time. We met each other up along the way. The last time we met
prison
each other,
system's a small world, isn't it?
And that's what we were saying before we sat down. It's only 100,000 inmates in the whole of the country.
Yeah.
That's not a big community.
Nah, it's not.
Like, if a jail's only holding 3,000 people, how many jails are there in the country? Do you know what I mean? So that you are going to see your friends along the way. Do you know what I mean? So that's just natural, isn't it?
Probably a bad thing though, because you feel like you've got to keep up with the reputation again. You know what I mean?
Well,
that was my problem as well. Seeing people that I hadn't seen in years, expecting me to still be like I was.
Yeah, but people change, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
It comes with age.
So with the justice system, then, would you say the justice system is built for like punishment, rehab? How do you feel?
So there's no rehabilitation really going on in prison.
No.
Yeah.
So don't they send you on courses? Don't they?
Yeah, but it's a tick box thing. You know, like you can tell them what you want. You know, you could act like the most well-behaved person on a course.
Yeah.
Is that really who you are? You know.
Yeah.
You know, when you obviously being an I.P.P prisoner and what you were sentenced to. Do you want to explain to the viewers what that means? Because obviously I know we crossed the name of it.
Yeah.
But a lot of the people, the public, they don't actually understand the full dynamics of an I.P.P sentence and the level of years that people face. Yeah,
so it's a 99-year sentence. When you look at, you know, like people say to them, the prison staff, like, can check out my release date and that. Yeah. Mine says 99 years. And it don't go down every year you do.
Yeah.
Technically, you know what I mean? Yeah, it just stays at 99 years. Do you know what I mean? It took me a while to realise that. And they said to me, basically, if I don't behave, I'm never going to get out. Yeah. So I have to go, once my minimum tariff was over, which was 4.5 years, I then go for parole hearings and have to convince a parole board that I'm safe to be released.
Explain a little bit about the parole board and what they're like, as how they treat you. Obviously, we know that we both know the system itself.
I feel like they've already judged you before you walk in there. Do you know what I mean? And my main problem was problematic behaviour.
Was you bad in prison then? Is that what you were saying?
I wouldn't say bad. I was quite mouthy, you know, and I wouldn't have it from the officers because I've got the old school mentality. It's us against them. You don't talk to them unless you need something. Do you know what I mean?
That's how it is. But obviously, you know, when you're an I.P.P prisoner, you have to have a sort of level of engagement with them.
Yeah, no, of course. And it took me a while to realise that, you know, and to get things like enhanced on that.
Do you know when what I found out when I was in jail? Because obviously, when I was in Swellside, I met all the boys. Yeah, I'm sure you was in Swellside.
Yeah, I was in Swellside as well.
So a lot of the guys in there are lifers or I.P.P.
Yeah.
How, and obviously being around them guys, I understand their mental health and I can see how it was affecting some of them.
Yeah, of course.
How did you get an I.P.P. sentence affect your mental state?
So I kind of have the right family support and things like that, you know. My mum's not just my mum, she's my best friend as well, you know. She visited me all over the country, wherever I was.
Good.
You know what I mean? Recently when I went back, even when I went back this time, she was bringing my son, do you know what I mean, far as well, you know. And I love her for that, you know. She's everything. Like, if I didn't have her, I wouldn't be around today.
Really? That's nice. It's nice to have a good parent, and unfortunately, I didn't have the greatest of parents in my life. And I mean, I think that affected me and made me go into the development world.
Oh,
obviously, you were quite lucky. You had a good parent and all that.
You know, it's not till recently that I've realised what I've put them through. Yeah. They used to say to me, "You're not just doing a sentence; we're doing it with you."
They do it. They do it with you.
Do you know what I mean? It took me years to kind of realise that. Do you know what? Like, it's not fair on them anymore.
Even when you go out now, your mum will still be thinking.
Worried,
yeah. Whoever I'm with, she's like watching, make sure, you know what I mean? Like, mum, cheers, mum. Like, fucking hell, make me like a kid, like. But I love her, I appreciate her. You know, like that's why I never want to go back again because I can't put her through it. Yeah. She aged in the 14 years I've done the first time.
Yeah.
she aged like 25 years.
Really?
So the stress on
Does
her
it
as well,
affects
you
them
know.
big time? If there's well, think about it. When we're in the lockdown, we're behind the door. We're being cared for. We're being fed. We're being all that. I wouldn't say we're being cared for, but when they're outside, they ain't got a clue what we're going through.
Yeah. My mum always used to say to me, she's like, "You're living better than me in there." I'm like, I'm not.
Trust me, it's not nice in there.
Yeah.
So you see all the stuff they said. You see it in the media, don't you?
But-
A lot of the they're like, oh, prisoners have it.
They
live
portray
their
it like
life.
we're living a sweet life,
Right.
but it's not that. It's not having the support around you and being able to go to the shop and things like that. That's what
The little
Explain
things.
to your
Yeah.
viewers, what it's actually like a daily basis. So you like, what is it like for you, Charlie? You after you got sentenced. So you've got this did you even understand your sentence?
No. Like, so everyone was checking the release dates. I was like, "Gov, check mine."
Yeah.
He's like, "You're 99 years, mate." I was like, "For what? What?
I only got 4.5 years.
So when I first got sentenced, I'm alright. 4.5 years, sweet.
Yeah.
Do that. You know what I mean?
What was it like for your mental state? You know, when you got that sentence, like explain to the public, like what was it like for you?
Right,
like,
so-
the whole process of being arrested, going through it.
A mate recently explained to me, like, so he said, when you got back from court, he said you was doing backflips, like you was that happy. Yeah, because I thought I'd just got 4.5 years and that was it. Do you know what I mean? It hadn't hit me then. And
But okay,
obviously, as the years roll on, you start thinking, fuck.
But you got 4.5 years, yeah? But go through the crimes that you did that all accounted for. Because there wasn't just one.
No, it wasn't just one. It wasn't just one.
so-
So the first thing I'd done, right, was I was with a girl. We was walking past a nightclub. We got barged by this girl. I turned around. I was like, "What the fuck?" She come flying up in my face. I'll smash your bird up. So I had to lick on my bird down and I chinned her. It wasn't the right thing to do, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you don't hit women. But I done it to protect my missus.
That's fair
Not that
enough.
that's really an excuse, but I've
Yeah.
done what I'd done, and I didn't realise she was with two geezers.
And then what did they do?
So obviously they've come over and approached me in it. So So the first one, I ripped his own bottle out of his hand and bottled him.
Yeah.
And he fell straight to the floor. And then the second geezer, it was like it happened in slow motion. He come running over to him. He was like, "No, I can't let that happen to my brother." So I just sidestepped him and stabbed him straight in the face.
What, with the broken bottle?
Yeah, with the broken bottle. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that what you got the I.P.P. for?
No, so I got that down to 2 section 20s.
Yeah.
GBH 2 section 20s. So GBH 2 section 20 is without the intent.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It's
So it was just a heat of the moment. You didn't intend to try and...
No, I didn't go out with the purpose of
Yeah.
doing that. You know, it happened. I was drunk at the time as well. The girl that I was with was scared. I felt like I had to protect her.
Which is a man thing though. Like, let's have it right.
Yeah.
If I was
So a lot of people would judge me and think you've hit a bird though.
Do you know
I
what?
did, but
under
it was
circumstances,
to protect my bird. You know.
I kind of understand the predicament you was in, because if someone tried to move to my missus, mate, I would knock them out. And
Yeah. It don't matter who they are.
I don't care who they are, because women are just as violent and dangerous as men.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I would protect my family, no different to you, missus, daughter, wife, whatever. I understand why that happened, but then obviously with the behaviours of the men afterwards, which is a normal
It's had
thing.
the-
Yeah,
for a
they
man.
had to then protect I didn't know it was
Yeah.
their cousin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they had to protect their cousin as well. You know what I mean? I would have gone mental.
So it goes off.
Yeah,
Straight
and
away.
so it went off. But obviously I've done them all quick. It was like
It
a 30
happens,
second
yeah.
thing.
It happens fast, these things, man.
I went home and fucked the missus. Like,
Yeah.
that's basically what
Well,
happened.
they got
I'm
that
like a
system.
hero then. Isn't he? Save my baby.
Well, the only reason why we was in a cab, it was her birthday, and we was on a cab back, and she's like, "I don't feel well," so I was like, "Oh, we'll get off here and we'll walk back to the house." And then as we was walking past the club, all that happened. So, I mean, I didn't know that was going to happen. I didn't go out looking for trouble that night. But
Yeah.
It's really...
it finds me, you know what it's like.
Yeah.
Trouble finds you, you know
It
what I mean?
does, especially around alcohol. You know what I mean?
But the thing is as
Oh, it's a
well-
massive contributing factor.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if the alcohol weren't involved there, that bird would have started. She might have been drunk. That could have been diffused in a whole different way.
Definitely, I would have reacted
It-
completely different.
And
I
that's
probably would have been like, "All right, sorry, love." Do you know what I mean? Or like,
Yeah,
instead of
just don't-
immediately
yeah.
fucking chinning her. Like, that's not
Yeah.
the answer.
It's
you know?
not-
so, that's,
No, it's
so,
not.
so when
But
you
then-
say trouble finds you, that's how it finds you.
Yeah.
Because you could have easily have gone that way, but you
Of course,
chose.
but when it all came to
difficult,
court and
yeah.
that, they were like, "Oh." They put it down to like they were just innocent members of the public. Like these were
Yeah.
unprovoked attacks.
Well, that's what they
Like,
do,
that's,
innit?
that's,
Yeah.
that's not what happened.
Yeah, it's good.
Do you know what it is as well? I bet you had a record by then, innit, Charlie?
Yeah, I did obviously. So I'm judged. You know, it's bad character
Yeah.
and that.
To this
You're
day, you're
judged
judged,
before
mate.
you even
Yeah.
go into the courtroom.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
but what's that saying? They use it against you. It's your it's a character
character
bad
reference.
character
type
and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
bad
what-
character reference, yeah.
So as soon as you've got a past, and if there's anything criminal in it,
Yeah, of course. It's
Even
gonna
if you
happen.
Yeah, judge us straight away.
Yeah. It's
If
like,
you was a working man with your own business, blah blah blah, hadn't had a background in any kind of violence,
Yeah, they might have
whatever,
believed my story then. do you know what I mean?
there could have been a lease.
But on that one, because I've done a plea bargain, I pled guilty on the grounds that this is what happened.
yeah.
Okay.
Because that's what did happen.
Yeah.
But no one's going to tell them the real side of the story.
No, of course, because they don't want to be seen as the
No,
instigators of the.
So what did you get sentenced for that?
Yeah, so I got. So I basically got sentenced for everything. I'll go through my cases.
Yeah.
But they waited till every one of them were done and then sentenced me for the whole lot.
And what
Okay,
did- what
so
was your
let's
sentence
go
for that?
through them then.
So, but they break down the sentence when they sentence you. So I got 9 years for bottling the geezer, 9 years for stabbing the geezer with a bottle in the face. And I think I got 4.5 years for chinning her.
Wow, that's quite extensive.
So when they were going through sentencing, they like I could see the jailer writing it all down, and I was
Yeah.
thinking,
Yeah.
"Fucking another 9 years for that."
Yeah,
Like,
another
he
9
said,
years for
mate,
that.
he said if they would have all been consecutive
Would've been
sentences, like,
finished.
you'd have been fucked, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause it added up to like 60-something years,
Yeah, it's
all in all.
Wow.
So 4.5 year tariff. I didn't know about the tariff situation at the time.
You thought.
But I was like, what a touch.
Yeah.
Like, my pal said, when you come back in the cells, you was like
Yeah,
dancing
yeah. I
and
get
that.
it,
I was like,
man.
yeah, sweet. You know what I mean? 4.5 years, I shit it, mate.
Do you know when I sit back and I think the amount of guys that I met within the system throughout all the prisons that I've been to, like the sentence, I think for certain offences like sex offenders, they should get an I.P.P.
Yeah.
That should just be
So
standard.
the sentence I.P.P. was originally for violent and sexual offences.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know
See
what I mean?
that?
But you meet a bad nonce and
They get nothing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
It's the same thing, you know. It's just like obviously our own opinions on things is obviously down to us, but I think when it comes to sentences and stuff like that, like drug dealers, for instance, they get
more than
get
a
big sentences,
pedo.
more to a paedophile.
Yeah.
But then if you look at it on a scale of criminality, how much damage does drugs cause the
yeah,
community?
no, of course.
A rapist should just be dealt with.
I said to a brother one time, I said, would you rather be stabbed or raped?
Yeah,
And they were
I'd
like,
rather
well,
be
we'd neither
Rather
know for
get
that.
stabbed,
Like,
mate, and I
either
can
of
say
them.
that
I
off-
was like,
off
yeah, I know that,
experience.
but
You know what I
do
mean?
you know, yeah, I think everyone would take a stabbing over being fucking bummed, wouldn't they? You know what I mean?
100% mate. And the thing is, you get stabbed, alright, you might have PTSD, you get better. But when you get raped, yeah, it affects you for your whole life.
No, of
Like, I
course it
still
does.
carry a lot of bad memories from what happened to me in my childhood.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what mean?
I
So,
bet, mate. I bet it haunts you. Do you know what I mean?
badly, do you know what I mean? However, the sentences I think are ridiculous. But at the end of the day, violent crime's a violent crime, innit? You know what I mean? Robberies that
So
I
also
did.
as well, so when I got sentenced, it was the whole Broken Britain thing, you know,
Yeah.
about all the 15-year-olds getting killed in London and that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It's
So
still that way
So
now,
they
though,
through
innit?
that era where they were trying to.
yeah, they were
crack
making
down.
that big deterrence, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, trying to deter to stop people from doing that type of stuff. But
Do you reckon
even the
it's like-
sentence don't really matter. Like, you get a minimum 30 now if you shoot someone. But that's
Yeah.
not stopping all these young kids
Nah,
shooting
that's
each other in
still
London.
gangsters,
Nah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's sad, like when you meet kids and that, and they're doing like 35 years and that for shooting someone.
It's the end of your life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't realise that because they're going to be like a celebrity for the first few years when their mates are supporting them.
Yeah.
And that
makes it fun.
novelty will wear off.
Yeah.
Explain that part of it, Charlie. So you go to jail, you get your sentence.
Yeah.
What's it like for the people? Because obviously, I know personally, I know exactly what happens.
So when I got sentenced, I was kind of happy that it was all over and dealt with. I thought, yeah, 4.5 years. Do you know what I mean? Because being on remand is horrible because you don't know how long you're going to get. So once that was all kind of over, I felt a little bit settled. But then obviously once I found out it was a 99-year sentence, I kind of realised I feel like I'm back on remand again.
Yeah.
I don't know when I'm going to get out.
Yeah.
It took me years to kind of realise that.
What?
Do you know what I mean?
Explain about the courses that you had to do, and if
Yeah.
you didn't do the courses.
Right, so my original sentence plan was to do like anger management and things like that, and I completed my sentence plan by 2010,
Wow. So your sentence. When did you get sentenced?
2006.
2006.
Yeah.
So you completed it before your sentence was actually up.
Yeah, but because of my behaviour,
Yeah.
like just fucking about, smoking weed every day, you know,
What was your
getting caught
behaviour
with
like
phones. If I had a joint, I didn't care I was in prison.
Yeah.
And that's the dangerous mind frame to be in. Plus I was around all my mates that were expecting me to be how, so I still had to kind of put on a front.
Yeah.
And I always felt like I still had to be that same person. But
Do you know
as
what? I
the
relate
years
to
go
that so
on,
much, man.
as the years go on, you kind of realise, you know what, this is long.
There you see them
Like,
come
fuck
and go
them now,
as
innit?
well.
Yeah, oh yeah, like 5 or 6 times.
And you're going.
That's annoying. And
What?
I'm a danger to the public.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You
But
lot
yet-
don't know who these fucking people are. Like, I know my mates. You know what I mean?
know who I'm
and I'm a danger. Like,
Yeah.
mate, these geezers need to be taken off the streets.
So when you go into prison, how do you keep your? Because we spoke earlier, and you said about when you was a kid, you went into youth offenders, and your his English class basically all wrote a letter to
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
didn't they?
yeah,
So
yeah.
the part of
Yeah.
their English lesson was to write a letter,
to me,
him
yeah.
while he was
Wow.
there, which was really good. Obviously, for the teachers to pick up on that, the teachers probably would have thought, you know what, Charlie isn't actually really a bad kid.
Yeah, because everyone would describe me as being like, even when I got sentenced and it was in the paper and that, they described me as like a courteous,
Nice
basically
fella.
a nice
Yeah, but you're
person.
not a bad bloke, bro.
No, you're not.
Like,
You just made some bad
I
choices.
just made some bad choices.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So how do you, that's what I was going to say, sorry. So how do you keep those connections once you go inside? How do you keep them connections with people? How, like, do they come and go and you don't hear from them again?
It's hard, yeah. So when you first go away and that, obviously everyone will sign your birthday card and all that, and then over the years they just kind of forget about you. They think, he's all right. You know what I mean? He's done long enough. He can handle it. Everyone just kind of cuts you off.
Yeah.
I always said to my mates, I didn't want anything off you. I just wanted emotional support.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know what's going on in your life, how your kids are, and the fact that you couldn't take 30 seconds to write me a quick note.
How does that make you feel when you get out?
You're a little bit angry with them. You don't want to see them and that. Do you know what I mean? But I kind of, when I've done the 14 years and got out, I said to everyone like, do you know what? I'm out now. I forgive you for all that. Out of sight, out of mind. I completely understand it. But if I do ever go back and none of you are back in contact with me, you can't talk to me when I come out again.
Yeah.
Even if it was like once a year.
You're not true friends.
Not my pal, innit? Yeah, you're not backing me, innit?
Do you know what I mean? And everyone's like, yeah, don't worry, if you ever go back, like, we'll be there for you.
Yeah.
What say, fuck, man.
See you later, mate.
So is that where...
And they always thought, he's just done 14 years, he got out for a little while, and now he's back in. He can handle a couple of years.
So once you'd done your 14 years, you said you got recalled.
Yeah, so I'd done 14 years, I got out for 2.5 years, was behaving, just had a kid, was
That's when we was in
working.
contact then, innit?
Yeah, and then they recalled me for an allegation. Nothing was
there
proven.
Nothing was proven, and
No.
that was it.
Explain that thing as well, because this is what frustrates me about about being on licence. People don't understand, especially the public don't actually get it, that when you've done your sentence, whatever tariff, whatever, if you get 10 years, 5 years or whatever, when you're on a licence period, explain how hard that is.
So I felt like probation was just trying to put obstacles in front of me all the time. And there was no help. No one said to me, "I'm welcome to 2020."
Yeah.
I had an argument with probation because I didn't know how to send an email. He's like, "How do you not know how to send an email?" I said, "Because fucking obviously you haven't read my file."
Yeah.
The emails they were about in 2005, but they weren't a popular thing. Like the internet was the old dial-up thing. I had to ask someone, "What's Wi-Fi?"
So do you think that, so imagine, so this, we always kind of would have these questions with technology especially, what's it going to be like in another 10 years? So when you were inside and you're, like he's just saying there,
I had to watch a gadget show to kind of try and keep up with things.
Right.
Really?
Yeah, because things used to blow my mind. Do you know what I mean? Like when I first saw an iPhone, I was like, that's fucking digital. Like, how have they got that much fucking... When I went to jail, cameras didn't even have... Phones didn't even have cameras.
iPods, the music and that, and they were...
Yeah, so even things like that, like, it was just like, technology was just like, fucking hell. Like, everyone's FaceTiming me when I got out, and I was just like, what the fuck's this? So I remember my mate come and met me in York, and he went, a cab's coming here, an Uber. I was like, what do you mean he's coming here? He's like, they've got a location. I was like, what?
Yeah,
What are you talking about? They've got a location. He's like, yeah, they're coming here. We've got to wait here. I was like, fuck off.
Blows your mind, doesn't
And
it?
then it skidded up. I was like, what the fuck?
You know when you got out of jail, what was it like? You see your probation officer, did you have a good relationship with any of them?
No.
No. Do you think they...
I feel like they didn't support me at all.
What is their job? What is a job of a probation officer?
So they say to keep the public safe. Go on.
So I found I had bad experience with probation as well, and I actually got a couple of them moved on so I could work as in do my offending, get my stuff done so I could stay out. So how was it how did they treat you? Did they? I know you said they didn't support you. Did they try and get you in education? Did they try and help you with your mental health?
Nothing. They've done
Nothing at all.
No, as I said, I felt like they kept putting obstacles
To try and get you sent back?
Yeah. Because obviously, when I'm out, they think that I'm not going to be a problem to them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But the whole point of going to prison is to rehabilitate, and they release you when you're safe.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't have been judged like that. You know what I mean? Like, they just. So when I first got out, I was on a curfew. I think it was like 6 till 7, and I had to sign on because I was in York, and I had to sign on at 1 o'clock every day. So my second day out, I was late back for my curfew sign-on time. I rang the hostel, rang probation, done everything I could, and the hostel sent someone to meet me because I got lost in York City Centre. So I got back, next day I spoke to probation, they gave me my first warning. I'd been out fucking 2 days.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, like, give me a little blight for fuck's sake.
That's
you know
to
what I
do with
mean?
the character reference.
And how long
and
was you away before you get released at that time?
14 years.
So it was a.
So that's a lot of adjusting.
Yeah. I wasn't really ready for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I hadn't.
Was you in an area that had support network around you, like family?
No,
friends?
they put me in York.
Wow. What was that like for you?
York's lovely, but that's not my area. I don't know anyone from around there. It's just like all northerners. Do you know what I
But do you
mean?
think they do that on purpose? Do you think they do that so you don't go back into the same circle?
I think so, yeah. So what I went to was a thing called a pipe hostel,
Yeah.
which is a psychology improvised planned environment. But every day it's like, how you feeling? You alright?
Yeah.
Fucking leave me alone, fucking hell. I mean, then COVID hit and they were like, oh, you're only allowed at the hostel an hour a day. I was like, fuck off, man. I've done
You
14
were only allowed
years.
at the hostel for 1 hour a day?
Yeah, I was like, man, I've done 14 years.
I was gonna
paid
ask
to stop
about
me
that.
from
Yeah,
leaving.
and
I was going to ask about that because when you said it was 2020, that was when lockdown.
Yeah, so I got
you
out
literally got out and
on
you
the
locked
3rd
down.
of February, and then literally a month later,
They done the lockdown.
they done the lockdown.
23rd of March, yeah.
So did they ever try to chat rubbish to you about recalling you because you weren't staying in the building and all that, or did you actually
No,
stay in
I tell them I'm out looking for jobs.
Yeah.
No,
Blinding.
yeah.
Fuck that really.
Yeah, I mean, fucking hour a day for exercise. Like, I'm not back in prison.
Yeah, that's mad, isn't
I
it?
was like, you. So they gave me a home leave from the hostel. Yeah, they were like, you can go back to London for a weekend. So they booked my tickets, everything. And the morning I was leaving, I had all my shit packed. They're like, whoa, where you going? I was like, I've got my train. I'm going back to London for the weekend. They're like, oh, your probation officer's rung up and there's all new government restrictions and all this. I was like, you fucking what? They're like, you got to wait for your probation officer to ring. And then probation rang me and was like, yeah, you can't go back to London for the weekend. I was like, you're taking
And that was on the day you were supposed to go.
Yeah, only for like a little home leave, do you know what I mean? But
Wow.
I was
That's
looking
a
forward to that. I
limit,
hadn't
isn't
seen
it?
my
Yeah.
mum and that at the time, do you know what I mean?
Wow.
And York's far. How far
It's
is
a
York
mission,
from London?
that's
It's a couple
like up near
3
Leeds
hours
and that,
away.
like
yeah,
3
so
hours,
it's a
yeah.
good couple of hours. Does your mum drive?
No.
Sit there.
But my mum did come up there after that happened. My mum came up for a couple of days, stayed in a hotel and that.
Okay.
See, that's
Yeah,
unfair
yeah.
on your parents as well, because obviously you've done your sentence. You've served 14 years out of a 4.5 year sentence, which is 9.5 years over the tariff.
Yeah, it was never designed for that.
And then stick you up on 2-3 hour drive away. What was your money situation like?
Fucking, it was like £300 a month on the job seekers, do you know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, and I hear that. And obviously that's got to do your clothing. Did you have to pay for rent in the hostel or anything like that?
Yeah, but I didn't pay a penny. But it was like, I think it was about £15 a week.
See, when I was in that hostel, they said to you, right, we can cook you dinners every day.
Yeah, there was a chef in this one.
Yeah.
There was a chef in this one. It was
But you
pucker,
had to
man.
pay, I think it was like 40 quid a week, which I thought was pretty cheap for dinners every day of the week. But I was never there. I was always out. So I get that. Did you have to pay for your dinners or anything there when you was there?
Not up front or anything, but it was like a weekly service charge. Yeah.
Okay.
But I I just avoided that until, and then obviously, so I was supposed to be there 6 months. COVID hit, so I was only there 2 months. And they were like, go back to your mum's, we will house you. 2 years later, I'm still in my mum's.
So from that, when was that, 2014?
2020.
2020, so obviously you've been recalled since then.
Yeah.
How long did you do on your recall? This one has gone.
So I've done 2.5 years. So that's how long it took me to get a parole room.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And
Over
that's
the
only
allegation.
because of the I.P.P, isn't it?
Yeah, so I had an intent to supply case which I got not guilty on.
Yeah.
And then my missus made an allegation of domestic violence,
Yeah.
which was, I didn't even get, I got an NFA in the police station. But yeah, it cost me another 2.5 years, do you know what I mean?
See, that's the thing. That's what I wanted to like put out for the viewers as well. Like being on license, how hard is it?
Oh, you've got to tread so carefully.
Explain to the viewers why you have to tread carefully, because a lot of the viewers, they think, you know what, you've just been nicked, you've done your sentence, you get out, and there's no restrictions.
Because I'm on an I.P.P, an allegation of assault, they can't take the risk.
Recall straight away.
Wow.
Really, it should go in front of a judge,
Yeah.
and he should look at it and then make a decision whether to recall him or not.
Like
they're
any
just
other
like, yeah, fuck it, lock him up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lock him back up.
See, I had the
That's
same thing on
ridiculous,
license
really.
myself. Yeah, I
It's
got
ridiculous.
recalled, yeah.
Most people that are on license get recalled. So when you go back to prison and that, you realise how many people are actually back on recalls.
Yeah, it's a
just
lot.
clogging up the system.
So do you feel the system is outdated?
Yeah, it sets you up to fail. So inside, you get rewarded for bad behaviour. That's what they teach you. You
Really?
kick off about something, they sort it.
Explain a bit more in detail about
So I can give you an example, right? So imagine you've got two people both got a visit in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Right? One's smashing their cell up and going mental about getting in the shower. The other one's pressing his bell, asking politely.
Yeah.
They're more likely going to unlock the guy smashing up himself because they don't want the trouble.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
therefore,
no,
you're rewarding bad behaviour. So what kids do now is they learn that behaviour in prison,
Yeah, that's right.
get straight back out. I think they can behave like that in the community. It's a revolving door.
Yeah.
They need us to go back in.
So you see, with the resettlement side of things, yeah, like obviously I understand resettlement, but I haven't been in prison for like 8 years now, so times obviously changed a lot since then. What is it? What do they have in place now for resettlement?
Well, they're supposed to, when you're coming up towards your release date, they're supposed to transfer you to your local prison for resettlement needs, do you know, but both times they released me from up north.
Well, was there any, what prison was it?
Stockton. Both times I got released from Stockton, yeah.
So being up in Stockton, was there no, is that CCAT prison?
Yeah, CCAT.
So for the viewers,
But it's like the worst of the worst CCAT, you know, it's like if you've been kicked out of everywhere else. If you've been kicked out of everywhere else, this is like last chance saloon.
So yeah, so basically that is the biggest shithole of prison.
Explain to them what a CCAT is.
So you, in the prison system, you get categories. So you've got double A cat, then you've got A cat, which is normally same prison, Belmarsh, and then you'll have a B cat, local high security, would be like Swellside, first stage lifer prisons, and then you've got the C cat prisons, which are people that are managed in the prison system, but restrictions are not so severe that they can escape or whatever. Yeah, and then you get you get your B cats in it, which is open jail, isn't it?
D cats,
D cats, which is,
and then you get your E cat hostel,
and E cat hostel is release, and that's when you're outside. But then obviously what Charlie was explaining is that when you're on licence, once you do your sentence, the public thinks that obviously you get 10 years, you come out, you do 5 years. The other 5 years is remainder in society. So you've still got 5 years of the government having hold on you. So this is what I was trying to put forward for the viewers to understand, that you may get a 10-year sentence, but in Charlie's situation, Charlie got a 4.5-year sentence, but he was actually classed as a lifer, which means he got a 99-year sentence. So there is differences within the sentence and the prisons. So being a lifer, Charlie was deemed as a very dangerous individual, hence
why I had to go to a first stage lifer prison like Swellside.
And
at 21 you should never be experiencing them type of prisons.
I was actually 21 when I was in Swellside as well.
It's mental in there, isn't it? It's just,
it was actually called Stabside at one
stage.
Really?
Yeah, no kidding.
Did you get stabbed in there?
I never got stabbed in there. I got stabbed in other prisons, but I got.
It's a mental mental experience. You know what I mean?
What's the most mental experience you've ever been through within prison, Charlie? That you can talk about. Obviously, don't incriminate yourself or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I won't. I don't really know how to answer that. I don't know. I've been in some mad situations, but yes, Swellside was definitely the maddest place. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just dangerous. They've got schizophrenics walking around. Yeah.
So
like they'll see you talking to someone. 10 minutes later, they're back. Was you talking about me? No, mate.
Yeah.
You can't on about it.
Yeah, go away.
So you've never been jail, have you?
No, I'm a good boy. To society, I'm a good boy.
That's good.
Never been caught.
No, I'm a good
because you've not been in that environment. It's difficult to understand.
You'll never kind of be able to envision it until you're in that situation, innit?
Yeah. I could imagine though, like you kind of locked.
But it's not like what you see on EastEnders and that.
No one watches that shit.
No, but it's completely different. You know, like we see Hollyoaks and that, you see someone inside and that.
It's not the same.
Or even the Bill, when what was the prison called in the Bill? Long March or something.
Is that what they called it?
Yeah, Long March.
I watched the Bill for years, man.
Like Long Larton and fucking Belmarsh.
Long Larton, my mate Nick's in Long Larton.
Yeah.
And that's another A cat. That's a double A cat actually. They've got the unit, which will have the double A cat, the most violent.
It's a prison within a prison.
So that sentence you're talking about there, with the stabbing with a bottling the guy, hitting the bird, were they all to do with that sentence, or did you have other crimes that you did?
Yeah, so I had another 2 cases. So I was with a mate in Hammersmith. I fell into some park bikes, got chased. As I was running, I realised, why am I running? I've got a fucking Stanley knife on me. So I stopped, turned around, and they kind of all surrounded me. The first one that stepped towards me, I just went, wallop. Just cut his face clean open. Yes, that was another case.
Explain a little bit more about that. So you was getting chased, you had a lot of people, and it was what, a lot
I
of
was
people.
drunk. I fell into some bikes, looked at this restaurant, and loads of geezers stood up and started chasing me. I looked at my mate, and my mate went, run. So I started running.
Yeah.
Was it motorbikes or just bikes?
Just pedal bikes.
Oh, wow.
But they actually said that I was trying to steal them. I wasn't. I fell into them. I was fucking pissed out my nut.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean? So that was another case. So another case I had was New Year's, I've been out drinking all night. Got on a night bus home. Saw a geezer with a phone laying on the chair. Yeah, and for some reason, I just made the me decision. I'm having that.
Yeah.
Ran off the bus. I was with a mate. He's having a piss. I said, "Run." He's like, "What?" He didn't know what was going on. So I ran off, hid.
Impulsive thinking, innit?
Yeah, I hid, and then I could hear some like commotion going on. So I got to the top of the road, had a look around the corner. There, 2 geezers beating my mate up on the floor.
Oh no.
So I ran straight over. A bird's tried to swing a handbag at me. I dodged that, stabbed the first one like in the back of the neck, and then the bigger guy grabbed hold of me and started like he hit me. He punched me, and straight away I felt my eye swell up. I was like, "Fuck." So as he's got hold of me, I'm kind of like just trying to get away.
Yeah.
I cut him like 6 times, but the major thing was I went through an artery in his temple.
Oh.
And he was the one paramedic described it as he was a hairbreadth away from death.
Really?
Do you know what I mean? Because I'd done a major artery, and they're saying if there wasn't a medical consultant in the ambulance at the time that basically clamped the artery, he would have died.
How did that make you feel though?
Right, at the time,
on an angry, drunken head, you didn't care.
yeah, at the time I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But now thinking about it, it's horrific.
Did you ever get an impact statement from any of them?
Yeah, I've got victim impact statements. Yeah.
When you read them impact statements, how that made you feel?
At the time, as I said, I felt they'd milked it.
Yeah.
But it's not. Now looking back at it, that must have not just mentally, physically scarred them. That must have mentally scarred them.
Yeah. Have you ever been stabbed, sliced, or anything?
Yeah,
like that?
yeah, I have myself. Yeah, so I kind of know what it feels like. Do you know what I mean? But where I'm a criminal,
Yeah.
you just kind of deal with it. You know what I
It's
mean?
just one of them days in the office.
Yeah, kind of thing. You know what I
Blank
mean?
it out.
But for a normal member of society,
Yeah.
like that must have scared the fucking life out of them. Especially like skinny little white geezer. They're like, fucking
They
hell.
don't expect it, do they?
But I tell people that I'd be your worst nightmare in a pub. You get fucking rude, mate, and I'll just whip out a knife.
Yeah.
Like, and there's nothing you can do then.
Yeah.
Would you do it on a sober head? Or
No.
is it just a drunken?
It depends. So on a sober head, the only reason I'd ever kind of act like that again was it would be in really horrific, highly unlikely situations
Yeah.
where, say, my mum was assaulted in front of me,
That's different, yeah.
or
yeah.
like, my brothers, or anything like that. You know.
But
Well,
you don't
obviously,
obviously carry
it
knives
doesn't
or
happen.
anything.
No, not anymore.
So-
Not
obviously
anymore.
it's
I've got no reason to.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I've got no reason to anymore. I'm kind of not involved in it. I don't hang around with the same people. Kind of just completely steer clear of that now.
What would you say a normal, typical week in prison is? Like how it is, like how is it?
Shit, mate, boring.
Because a lot of the
Fucking-
public don't get it, yeah? They see all this stuff in the newspapers that, yeah...
They think we're
prison's
living a
this.
life of luxury in there.
Explain
No,
what
it's-
a normal week is, like all the bang up, what the food's like, how you feel,
Oh, yeah.
what the people are like on the wing,
So the
how
food-
the officers treat you.
So the food is like the lowest grade food you can get. You know what I mean? Like the meat isn't meat, it's just
Dog
gristle.
meat.
You know what I mean? Like it's literally just gristle,
So
isn't
what
it?
would you get on a normal day?
What, for a meal?
Yeah.
So you'll have like a cold lunch, sandwich or baguette or something like that, and then dinner with
What would you get with your baguette?
a pack of crisps
And
and a
chocolate
chocolate bar. A bingo bar.
Basically, what you get in the prison bus, isn't it? You know when you're going from
Yeah.
jail to jail,
When you
standard,
transfer,
so
if
you
you're
get a
transferring on
sandwich.
a long one, then they'll give you lunch and the thing in it. I mean, you eat that in the first 5 minutes.
Seconds it's gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you'll get like odd shaped fruits. It's like the stuff they can't sell in supermarkets.
They're
Oh,
fucking yellow. They look like apples, yeah, but they're yellow.
The
And
pears.
No, it's not even a pear.
You don't know what it is.
Them green apples as well, yeah, they are so sour.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
fucking horrible, man. Like,
honestly. They're
Yeah.
just one
when you
fruit.
see like a red apple and you're like, oh, sweet, mate, a bit of flavour.
Everyone's fighting over it.
Everything's so flavourously, like they don't like.
So what
Dude,
do
they
you get
don't
for your-
season anything.
What do you get for your dinner?
Yeah,
so
what's
say
the
for
dinner?
instance you've got a baguette and a little carton of juice and a freaking chocolate
So
bar.
dinner, you'll get your breakfast pack, a milk,
Yeah.
tea pack, cereal, things like that, and you'll also get your meal, which is usually a left fucking chicken thigh.
It's always the left, isn't it? Yeah, it's always the left leg, mate.
I'll be happy if I never see a chicken thigh again. Like. And there's no meat on it.
Yeah, it's
It really
nothing
is
there,
there.
mate.
It's like
It's terrible, mate.
You go past some people's cells in it, they just leave the bones. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I couldn't even like it's because the meat's usually dark as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And so you get a Cajun chicken burger. Cajun chicken isn't brown.
Do you know what? I remember I was in Scrubs, yeah, and I was in the kitchens.
But you get duff in Scrubs every day, cake, didn't it? Every
Do you know,
day,
you
cake and custard.
used to get, because when I was working in the kitchens, yeah, obviously I used to cook all the foods, innit? So there'd be one day I'd be making like fucking all sorts of stuff. I was making all the Christmas dinners, but the food in Scrubs was actually not that bad.
Yeah, it wasn't
Do you know
that
what I
bad.
mean?
It wasn't that bad.
The only thing is, to say
Get a fry up every Sunday as well,
yeah,
didn't
you
you?
get
You know,
your
like-
boiled egg, bacon, sausage, beans or something like that, and a fucking boiled egg.
Right, so the sausages in prison, they've got like about 3% meat in them. You can just call it a sausage.
Yeah.
It just qualifies to be called a sausage.
Because it's in the wrap.
Sausage skin, innit?
Yeah, the skin. That's the only reason. Like, you know, what I mean, you gotta go to Greg's and get a sausage roll. That's not even fucking sausage. It's a vegan fucking roll thing.
Yeah,
That's what
mate, the meat is just unbelievable.
You still get rice and potatoes every day as well.
Yeah, every fucking day. So in Stockholm, they stopped doing chips.
Wow.
Because that's like the 1 week you look forward to, isn't it? Like
chips.
Friday fish and chips.
Yeah, and Fish Fridays now.
They've stopped doing all that. Like, it's just like, what?
Wow, that's
Everything's
budgets.
It feels like everything's catered for foreigners.
Yeah.
You don't get any English meals inside.
Oh,
Like,
really?
they said, "What do you miss?" I said, "Just egg and chips."
Yeah.
Sounds simple like that.
Bangers and mash.
What's the canteen like? As in, it'd be commissary in America, but what's the canteen like in the UK nowadays?
So the prices are just unbelievable. Like
That's
they seem
what I
to
wanted
think,
to say to you
yeah,
as
they
well.
seem to think that we're all rich inside.
So, if you go to Tesco's or any other than places, so we'll edit that part. If you go to any shops, yeah, and you go and buy a multi-pack of tuna, look at the price of it, yeah. How much is 1 tin of tuna in prison?
$1.89 now.
See it there? How much money did you used to get a week?
That's what I was about to ask you.
Yeah, so it depends what level you're on. If you're on basic, then you get private cash, right? And each week you'll be allowed to spend a certain amount out of your private cash. So if you're on basic, you're allowed to spend £2.50 out of your private account. If you're enhanced, if you're standard, it's about $17.50, and if you're enhanced, it's about £25.
Wow.
Which,
But if you can't behave, then you're on basic. Do you know what I mean?
see, the thing is, if you've got no one sending you money, how much did the prison system give you a week?
So I think a standard wage in there is about £12.50.
A week.
Yeah.
Now, if you're on basic,
So if you smoke, if you vape, then all your money goes on vapes every week. Do you know what I
Oh,
mean?
shit.
Can't buy no phone credit, nothing.
so explain when it comes down to, so when you're on, so you're enhanced, you get £17.50 or £20 a week, yeah? Standard 17. If you've got no one sending you money, yeah? So say for instance,
You have to work. You have to.
and what's the money like that you get in the prison? Like all the jobs that you've
So
had?
a standard job is like about £12.50 a week.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
And what kind of jobs if people have never been in prison like myself? Like,
So you can there's like wing jobs, so you can be a cleaner, laundryman, servery, and then there's like jobs off the wing, which are all like government contracts.
Okay.
So like you'll go down to work for like they do like a Ministry of Justice camo nets where you for the army and that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean, you're getting paid a silly wage. So imagine how much money they're making off that contract with the government.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, that's
Even
what
DHL, which is a massive company.
Massive.
We now in all the jails they pack all the canteens
Wow.
because it's slave labour.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So
I mean, you
think
work
about
your
it.
arse off and they're giving you £15.
They used to do that back
Yeah.
in the day, though, didn't they? So to build all the infrastructure around the countries and that, they used to use prisoners as that's who you're going to do.
Well, if
if you
they want to
think about it-
rehabilitate people, what they should do is teach them a proper trade.
Skill. Yeah.
Don't just teach them the level 2, which is just knowing how to use the tools of a trade.
Yeah.
Actually, make them qualified to leave, and who's going to want to reoffend?
So the thing is, yeah, like with the level 2s and stuff like that. When I was in prison, I was in the Mount. I done my multi skills level 1 and level 2.
Yeah, I've done that in the Mount as well.
But that gives you the skills to become a multi trader. Like that's what people don't understand. So that multi skills, yeah, even though it's the most basic of skills,
Gives you
as
the
in,
little understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if
what
you
it
turn up
does.
to a work site with just that, they're going to laugh at you.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I
Because,
mean? Like-
because it's only the basics. But what it can do is get your handyman job on site.
Yeah.
But they do CSCS cards and stuff like that in prison nowadays.
They still do them, but I could never get one because they'd look at your sentence. So you're doing a 99-year sentence, mate. You're back of the list.
Yeah,
And that never
Explain
comes round.
that, because you know what it is, yeah, Charlie. Yeah, a lot. I think the government and the public portray prison as not really a punishment. Yeah, and obviously for us lot, we know it is a punishment. And what I'm trying to get out to the public is that basically, when it comes to you being your sentencing, you get sentenced for whatever amount of years, you go to jail. What is in place for you to rebuild your future? Do you know what I mean? So after education,
Yeah,
Education.
education is the key to freedom. You know.
so what skills did they teach you in there?
So I've done all sorts. So the best thing that I'd done when I was in prison was I'd done a catering course. Because I was moaning, so I found out it took me like a year to get the space on the pipe hostel. So I knew I was getting out for a whole year.
Nice.
And I was moaning to them. I was like, "But what's in place? Like, where's my rehabilitation?" Do you know what I mean? So they actually ended up getting me on a catering course. which helped me to kind of cook and that, you know.
Nice.
So I didn't know how to do any of that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'd burn a boiled egg.
Can you use that? Can you use them skills that you learned in there to help benefit you outside?
Yeah, like daily life skills. Do you know what I mean? Just being able to cook something quickly, you know. That's the only thing that has actually helped me, to be honest.
Because especially if you've done a sentence from when you were young.
But I feel like what they should do is have things in place to help you with like IT skills.
Yeah, things that
You know,
matter.
yeah, things that, because everything now is social media and that. I didn't know about any of that, and because I didn't know about it, I didn't miss it.
Yeah.
But when I got recalled, when I went back, knowing what I was missing out on, that was the hardest couple of years of my life. Do you know what I mean? Like that affected me. I struggled.
Really?
Go into a bit more about the struggle, Charlie, if you don't mind.
So I struggled because I just had a little boy as well. I was in his whole life. I was in his life for a year, changing nappies, doing night feeds and all that. And for that to be ripped away from me was like the worst. Shit, bro. I was almost like suicidal about it all.
Yeah, I hear that.
Especially when the mother was playing up and not letting me see him whilst I was inside. I kind of couldn't see a light at the end of the tunnel.
I can relate to that.
You know,
I
like,
really can. I feel
especially
like
when
a lot
you've
of
been
them.
there in their life for a year. They're not just your kid. They're like a mate of yours. You know what I mean? Like, and you miss it, no matter how much
It's
of
a
a little
part of
shit
you
they are.
getting taken away.
Yeah, and it's that is the worst thing, having that ripped away from you. And it makes you grow up a bit.
Yeah, it's actually. Do you know what it is? Life is difficult, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Relationships are very difficult. You know what I mean? And that's with all cases, exes, friends, fucking business.
The mother of my kid as well. It was like the first time I'd ever been in love. First ever like long-term relationship. It was only 2.5 years. But
And how old was you then?
I was 37.
Wow.
See, think about that.
You know,
That's
37 years of age.
first ever long-term relationship. Falling in love. You know.
Fell in love, has a baby, ends up in jail. How would that make you feel?
And it wasn't like I was misbehaving. I was working. Just had a kid. You know, things will look on the right track, and then for that to be ripped away are bad behaviour.
Do you lose hope? Do you have trust issues with it?
The hope thing. So when I've done the 14 years, it took for me to give up. Yeah, to actually get out.
Oh really?
Like I said to probation, so I can't keep jumping through these hoops. You can't keep renaming courses and making me do them. So now I'm not doing no more fucking courses. I'll stay in jail. It's easier to just accept that. And then all of a sudden they wanted to fucking help me. It took me to give up.
Yeah, it's because they want to break you. That's what I see it as. Like, you're broken then, innit? You know what I mean? And they can mould you into whatever they want. Like.
But they didn't actually break me. So I remember when I'd done the 14, the morning I was getting released, I woke everyone up on the wing. I was like, easy. So when I got to reception, the screw was like, what was easy? I said, fucking 14 years, I shit it, mate. They didn't know how to be. I was at the end of it, I didn't care. You know what I mean?
I know that feeling as well, man.
They're all like trying to shake my hands out, and I was like,
Don't touch me.
I'm out. You know, I've got.
I was going to say, did you build good relationships, bad relationships, where there's certain screws in there that you actually think, do you know what, they were all right, they actually helped me, or how long do them certain screws
but
stay?
it's very rare that you find an officer that is willing to help, because a lot of them are just there for the pay thing now. If you ask them when they join the job, what are you here to do? We're here to help people, rehabilitate
6 months
people.
and can't stand any of
Yeah,
it.
they fucking hate the job, especially because it was just shit pay as well.
So do they move? Do a lot of prison officers move, go to different prisons, or do a lot of them are long stay, just stay there as a part of the furniture?
So back in the day, an officer's job was good pension, good pay, but now it's just like young kids coming out of fucking university and that.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got kids chatting to you and that, and you're like, mate, you was fucking 2 years old when I come away.
See, that's the thing as well. Like, what's the mentality of the young offenders in it? Because I know as soon as you hit 18 now, you go to men's prison, don't you?
Yeah.
So whilst you're like being an I.P.P prisoner, you got to watch behaviour.
Yeah, so just kind of stay away from the wiles, you know what I mean? Because they're just fucking...
They're madness. Explain to the viewers what the type of individuals are like, the wiles, their behaviour, their attitude compared to a seasoned criminal like yourself.
Gassed up kids, I mean, don't give a fuck about anything, you know what I mean? Just trying to make their own reputation for themselves and that, and they're just idiots, just starting trouble, you know what I mean? Beating people up over cans of tuna and that.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off.
With cans of tuna.
Yeah, with cans of tuna. Well, nah, they're fucking shanky, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, nowadays it's different, isn't it?
And it's like, when you try to explain to them, mate, it's not even worth doing that, bro. Like, you're going to end up getting
extra
a
bird.
whole extra time over some idiot over £1.
What's it like with the nonces in there? Do they stick them on general population still, or are they all put in their
No,
own
they're
lot?
still kind of put on their own wings. That's offered to them. When they get to, they don't have to do it.
Wow.
But you know as well as I do, if they don't take that, when they come on the wing, the officers will say to
he's a nonsense.
We'll crack his door for you.
Yeah.
Like obviously,
especially in scrubs, man. They used to like.
Mate, I've had it myself. Like I've weighed in a few couple of nonces when I was doing my prison sentence back in the day. So
because there is a hierarchy in prison.
There is. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the drug dealers and the violent lifers and that, they're at the top, and then you've got like the bacon nonsense at the bottom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like,
but rightly so.
No one stands for that shit. You know?
But I don't reckon they should have their own wing.
No, of course not, because they're only exchanging links.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or some paedophile network.
See, the thing is, within the prison system, like, my personal opinion, I'm not even going to say it because they'll probably ban the channel, but, like...
They should be castrated.
They should just be got rid of, innit? Because
there is a state in America.
You know yourself, Charlie, you've done untold jail.
Them sexual urges will never change unless you take their balls off.
Well, look, this is how I see it, and I don't know if the public are going to hear it my way, but this is how I see it, Now, I've always been a villain. I've always been into robberies, Now, to this day, I still get them funny feelings in my brain. I get excited by robberies,
That's always going to be. That's always going to happen.
Doesn't mean I'm ever going to do it again because I know the punishment far outweighs the profit side of it. More negative's going to come from me doing that anyway. So I don't do it, but the feelings are still the same. I still get excited when I think about being chased down the motorway by the police.
Love it.
It's a buzz, isn't it? It's a different buzz.
It's like that fight or flight thing, isn't it? But that's still crime. And I've done fucking 13 years in jail. I've had more beatings from screws and wrapped up by prison officers and police officers than I can possibly remember, but I still get the same feelings. I ain't rehabilitated to the point where I'm rehabilitated to the point where I won't commit crime, but the feelings are still the same.
That only comes of age, doesn't it? Really?
Exactly. But if you put that category into noncing, there's nothing that's going to change in me.
Because them sexual urges are always going to be there.
Exactly. And if you look at it, crime on
and they've obviously acted on it.
Well, look at Charlie, for instance. Charlie committed crime because he felt he was going to get hurt and he protected someone. So then that crime happened because he was protecting his missus, for starters, and he felt in fear and had to protect himself. So Charlie committed acts of GBH. I committed robberies. Do you know what I mean? So where I was doing robberies and stuff like that, it's a different thing. But you get what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
Good pay shit holidays.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I got a bit lost in what I was thinking there.
But what you were saying basically is that all them urges never go.
They're never going to go. That's right. Fucking get rid of them.
You just so saying that. So with you were just saying it's about growing up.
It comes with age. You kind of get to a point where you've had enough. Like this is shit.
So if somebody if somebody spoke to you at yourself, if you could yourself now speak to yourself when you were 15, 16 years old, do you think at 15, 16 you would listen though?
Oh, I didn't. People always used to kind of try and sit down. And that's what I want to do now in the future. I want to do talks. But are kids ready for that? No one wants to kind of... I just want to tell my story and then they take what they want from that. You know, but when I was that age, no one could have told me anything. Yeah. Especially when I'm out drinking. That's when people would come and try and talk to me about things. I said, mate, I'm trying to get off my nut, like, fucking leave me alone, mate. I don't want to be your bullshit all night. So I think it's about approaching them at the right time, through youth centres and schools and things like that, you know, before they even start to think about that kind of behaviour, you know.
So you see, if you met a young Charlie now, and he's doing the things you were doing at your age, what would you actually say to him? Like, how
the head and that, like, what are you fucking doing, bro? Like,
I hear that.
But I said people should be able to relate to me.
Yeah.
But the people that were trying to talk to me, they were only kind of looking out for me. They weren't. Do you know what I mean? They wasn't up to the things themselves. Yeah. And they were just trying to... I felt like I was all trying to lecture me. It's the wrong time to talk to me. Not when I'm out having a drink. I know you might be a little bit concerned, but this isn't...
this ain't the right
This ain't the time. This ain't the right time, or you know what I mean, to be talking to me about.
When would it be the right time?
Before school times, like when you hit teenage years.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like maybe hearing someone's story might have. Well, I like to think I would have kind of listened to it and thought, do you know what, it's not worth it. But there was no kind of deterrent back then as well. It was almost like a badge of honour to go to prison, and it's all about reputation. I think my reputation's always going to be important to me, but I now want the reputation. People say, my man used to be a madman. but he's sorted himself out, and now
Which
he
is what
tries
it's
to
about,
educate
man.
the kids, you know.
Well, the thing is, if we stay down this violent road, yeah, that's what I call it, a road of violence, a road of crime and stuff like that. There's only multiple things that are going to happen. You're either going to end up dead, or you're going to end up
doing a big life sentence. You know what I mean?
How many young murderers did you meet in jail, Charlie?
Especially like Belmarsh and Swell side, like, the amount of young black kids doing massive wrecks for shooting people was just unbelievable. It's sad.
What's it like when you meet the older guys that have done 13, 20, 30, 40 years behind the door?
They've always got good advice for me, and they're always clued up, you know. And it's sad that that's happened to them. Do you know what I mean as well? Like,
I found that as well. I found that when I was in prison, like you get the young murderers. Yeah, they're all gassed up.
Yeah, don't give a shit.
Kill everybody, all of that shit. Yeah, and then you meet the older lifers. Yeah, that have
Who
done
would probably were like that.
He was like that 30 years ago, but he's
Yeah.
done 30 years behind the door, and that guy is nothing like what he is, and he resents what he's done. He's wasted 30 years of his life. He's in jail. He's pissed. He's lost his mum. He's lost his dad. He's got no one that likes him or cares for him anymore because he's been forgotten because he's been away 30 years.
the majority of the people that you meet that have done that long have got no support whatsoever.
That's
Do they
what I
care
wanted to
about?
get on,
Yeah. Do they
because
care about getting out now, or do they just think it's their life now?
it's life.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Do you know the Red situation in Shawshank Redemption? You know when they almost give up, right?
Okay.
You know what I mean? They go on Pro Bowls and do a speech and that. Like, it don't matter what you do today. Like, it don't affect me. It's crazy. It's sad. Very sad to see.
Because I was going to ask if people were to
Because you get institutionalized.
Yeah. I suppose
What's it like
is.
being institutionalised, Charlie?
You kind of give up. That's when you do give up, because the outside world worries you. You kind of start thinking, say I get out and you shit out there, because you're in a routine in prison. And that's how I started to feel. Like when I was getting towards like the 14 years and that, I didn't care what happened anymore. I was comfortable. Yeah. It was my life, you know. It'd been my life since I was 21.
Do you know what? I can relate to that so much. You know, I'll tell you why. Yeah, because when I got out of prison, I used to get hungry at certain times of the day.
Yeah, because of the routine.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? It's weird.
Queuing up in your mum's house for your plate and that.
Yeah, it's weird, mate. Honestly, I generally... Where's dinner? Do you know what I mean? I used to get that, honest to God, I'd be like 4 o'clock, I'd be like, oh, I'm feeling hungry, mate, because dinner's at between 4 and 5
every day, yeah.
Lunch would be 11:30, 12:30 latest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I used to get hungry at certain times of the day or in the morning.
It's a routine, isn't it?
Yeah, because my routine coming, and when I got out of jail, it was just weird. How did you find getting out of jail? Because you've only been out. How long have you been out now, Charlie?
I've been back out 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Yeah, 6 weeks.
Wow.
6 weeks.
Explain that to the viewers.
But you kind of, now I've got back out, I've kind of forgotten about prison already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like, it's like I didn't just do that, even though it was the hardest couple of years of my life.
What was it like that morning they opened your door?
And buzzing, mate.
Explain that to the
fucking
people.
It's hard to explain, but yeah, you just it don't seem real. Yeah. So when I've done the 14 years there, they released me, and I was standing outside the gate. I was waiting for my mum and that.
Watch that one.
I was waiting for my mum and that to come and pick me up. And I thought, I think they might have made a mistake here. So I walked like half a mile down the road, and I thought if they even tried to call me, I'm just dropping these bags and running across that field. There's no, you cannot do this to me.
Can't get me.
You can't just but you can't do that to me. You can't release me and then we've made a mistake at
That's
the
a
gate.
big worry though, isn't it?
Yeah, but you are. So I walked like half a mile down the road. Mum was like, "Where the fuck are you?"
Same thing.
Just needed to
Same
get
way.
away.
Yeah, I just needed to get away from it. You know what I mean?
And I understand that as well, yeah, because I come out of, I got out of the Mount H&P the night, yeah.
But it just don't seem real, especially when you do a big one.
Yeah.
It's just like,
And I
it's
just
really
done
happening.
I'd have done 4.5 that time. So
That's long enough, though.
It's a long time, man. And then I come out and I run away from the prison. And because I had no phone on me, I was supposed to meet her outside the jail.
Oh.
But they let me out 20 minutes early. I was gone.
Yeah, that's
running.
it. Just in
I
case they made a mistake. Like.
Yeah. And I got down to the road, I got to a cafe, I was like, yeah, let me use your phone. I gave a geezer £1 to use.
But I would have sent me on a mad one. Imagine that, they called me back and said, we've made a mistake. Oh,
No, it's
mate,
fine.
you can't
It's
do
going
that. I'm killing everyone.
Yeah, it's going on.
No,
you're not going to kill him.
You have to keep me in the block, mate. Like, because I'm not having that. That's a wind up. That's like the biggest wind up ever, isn't it?
It's a frightening thought that, isn't it? You know,
Just in case that happened, I thought, right, I better get away from here. Just in case they made a mistake, innit? So I'm not going to have myself in. Like.
I fully get it. The public wouldn't understand it, obviously. No. But what's life for you like now, Charlie? How's things now?
I'm actually kind of happy in my life at the moment. You know, the baby mum's playing up a little bit, but I am getting to see my son. You know, and that's all that really matters at the moment. You know?
You working or anything like that?
No, not at the moment. Not at the moment.
Has probation tried to get you into some sort of education or anything like that?
Nothing.
that's one thing that does my brain. You know, like you've
not
done a
helping me
lot
at
of prison.
all. Again, they're
and
failing
no support outside.
Yeah, so I'm in a hostel. I'm moving out of there in 9 days, and they've not even found me a place.
Wow.
They basically just pile you off to your
they're
mum's.
saying to me, you can go back to your mum's.
Say your mum wasn't there. Say you had no
So
support.
I said this to them. So say my mum doesn't want me back. They were like, well, you'll be declared as homeless, and we'll have to recall you. So you're setting me up to fail again. Like this, they've only just done the referrals to the council
for the housing people. And stuff
but this
like
should have been sorted
months ago.
Yeah, but like
That's
they
mad.
don't care.
That's
They
mad.
don't care.
So if you've got offending supervisor, like, so that'd be a probation
I've got
officer.
2.
You've got 2 of them.
Two,
Oh,
yeah.
So what? How comes? Why do you have 2?
I don't know actually. I don't actually know why.
I would
Because I'm a seriously high risk to the public.
I would have
now.
thought because
even though I didn't
of
do
risk.
nothing to get recalled, and when I would come out, I was a medium, and now all of a sudden,
So what you
I'm
can
high risk
do,
again.
you can. Have you got a solicitor?
Yeah.
Definitely get your solicitor to have a look at that, because I know what their probation tend to do. Yeah, they tend to do a lot of their assessing of people and research, which ain't fact. Yeah,
No, it's all hearsay.
Yeah,
That, you know?
and when you're doing an OASIS report, which is your offender management levels, your risk of reoffending and stuff like that, it's all got to be done on facts. Now I understand that because the last time I was recalled and went into jail, all of their factors to keep me at high risk levels was done on research. Well, research ain't a fact, mate. So
yeah, that's right.
they had to get all of that shit squashed, and I got out. And I got out. I got a what's it when they give you executive release?
Oh yeah, it says
and
an emergency parole hearing.
Yeah,
basically,
I got executive release because I got 21 months for ramming.
Was it done by
and all
paper
that.
hearing?
Yeah, it's all done by paper, and then they realised, because my solicitor was like, "Hang about, this OASIS report isn't factual. You're going off report, and it's not. It's anything to do with an OASIS report, which is the level of danger you pose to the public and stuff like that." Because they'll say you'll reoffend in 36 months, you'll reoffend in 6 months, 2 years, and all that. And
Because they give you like a score as well, innit? How likely you are to offend in the next couple of years.
And that's all based on research. Yeah, which ain't fact.
Nah, of course we know.
Do you know what I mean?
Fact,
so that'd be worth looking into, man.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm out now. I probably won't even chase that up. Do you know what I mean? Like,
just want to.
just want to kind of just get on with my life. But I'm still. I feel like because I'm on a license, I'm still being punished.
How long you got left?
Something. So it's just changed. It was a life license. Now it's only 3 years.
Okay.
So
if I can behave for 3 years, I'll be off license, and I can just crack on with my life.
there's one thing I really want the public to understand, yeah. So explain how many years you served, yeah, for the sentence you got, and then now the level of license you have after your offence, if you know what I mean.
Yes, so obviously it's a 99-year sentence, so it originally was that once I get out but once I get released, I'll then be on licence for the rest of my life. But there was like a loophole that said, right, so if you can behave for 10 years after getting out, they'll take the licence off me. But now, because the I.P.P.'s been banned, it was made inhumane in 2012, because David Blunkett as well has recently come out and said it was the worst sentence he ever invented.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, mate.
Because there's kids still in prison that have been in since 2005.
See, that's the thing. So Charlie got sentenced. His tariff was 100 years, yeah, which is ridiculous. Yeah, but his actual sentence, so his sentence was 4.5 years. His tariff was 4.5 years.
Yeah,
but
that's the minimum to serve was 4.5.
4.5 years. And you served how long out of that?
14.
14. And how much license period do you have now?
So now it's 3 years.
So you've served
changed,
14 years behind the door.
Yeah.
And you've still got a 3.5 or 3 year license.
Yeah.
So that is basically equivalent to a 6 year sentence.
Yeah.
Now, that's crazy.
It's mental.
It's madness.
I just want to get on with my life. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to have to go into probation every week.
Because when you did this, you was young.
I was a kid.
You was, and this is what you're saying. You tend to grow up. You tend to mature, regardless of your surroundings. If you're in prison with idiots, good people, whatever, you probably look at them younger ones coming in now going, that was me, man, I was a dickhead.
I literally was.
I was a dickhead.
You see when you meet the nutty ones, fucking hell, just like that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And that's when you kind of
you've
try and talk to them and then try to give them advice.
But that's when you know you've kind of made progression.
Yeah, of course. So the main thing when I went on my parole hearing, I said to them, so they said, what's changed? I said, so when I was 20, I used to love like Police World, this camera like, you know, like all the mad programs, Police Interceptors. So now enough nothing better than watching Bake Off.
Yeah.
And they laughed. I thought, I got them. I'm getting out. Man. I'm getting out. Man.
I'm really watching these senders.
But yeah, best cook. But you taste. I can't stand any kind of program like that anymore. Do you know? I don't like it when the police say, "Yeah, results day." What did you sneak in for?
A little bit of weed or
found
something.
a spliff in the car.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Right? There's more important things to be chasing than nicking someone for it. But then they'll give it the big one. Wicked result. What a fucking joint. Behave.
Well, that there can fuck a guy's life up, because this is another thing I wanted to talk to you about as well, because what the public don't understand, especially the youth of today, is that how does your criminal record affect you trying to get a job outside?
So now as well, you have to declare everything.
Yeah.
It's called I can't remember what it's called, but you basically have to write to the people cover letter and tell them about your convictions, because if you don't, it's an offence itself.
Which can cause you to be what?
You're judged straight, recalled, but you're judged as soon as they see that letter. Yeah. They judge you straight away. But it's all how you sell yourself on the interview. Yeah. But kids these days, because they talk all this, I call it urban talk. Yeah. We saying fam and all that. Yeah. They then go on an interview and try and talk like that, and they're just like, I don't know.
Get mugged right.
That's why I think they should at school. Especially as they're leaving, they should kind of teach them elocution lessons, how to talk properly, give them a bit of confidence. Do you know what I mean? Because they go on interviews talking rude like.
Yeah, I think that's where, see, when you go for a job interview, if they're young and immature.
I used to talk like it, didn't I?
Yeah. I still do sometimes. When I'm around the lads,
there's like two sides of me. Yeah, when I'm around the man then, like the rude boys and that, I can talk it all. I can talk it all. But then there's a proper side to me where I can talk properly. Yeah.
But that's where interview practice helps though. Because so regardless if they don't, but the interviewers should be letting the interviewees know why they've failed them, not give them a job or something.
Yeah, give them a little bit of feedback.
Most of the times they'll just reject it. They don't hear nothing back. You could just tell them. Some might, but I rarely know any that go back to them and say.
See, the thing is, what sort of frustrates me within this on the rehabilitation side of things and being out is that when you get done for a certain sentence, so say for instance you get done for a crime, you get 5 years. Yeah, that's your sentence. So I think it's anything over 5 years. Your conviction could be spent,
that's right.
Which means you do not have to declare it. Yeah. Now, because you've got life, I've got 12 years. Yeah, we have to declare our convictions for the rest of our life, which I think is kind of unfair. If we were fucking sex offenders, then declare it. Yeah. Get that because you're keeping kids safe. Well, I totally understand that. But when it comes to like a robbery or a violent crime, you've made a mistake, you've cut someone, stabbed the kids or whatever because a violent situation occurred.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair that you have to keep basically putting you get judged every time. Yeah, and as soon as someone like myself,
now when I talk to people as well, and I tell them that I've just done this long in prison, they're like, no way, like we can't. They actually like, we can't even imagine you being like that.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say to you. So if people were to talk to Charlie today, didn't know nothing about you, how would they describe you?
As a really person. Nice, supportive person. Yeah. You know, like I'll offer support to anyone. I always say to people I say to people all the time, like if you ever feel down or anything, you can always ring me. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That 5 minute conversation might be the highlight of their day.
Yeah.